Hello. So, a day ago from when I'm recording this, I was tasked with beating Golden Trophy using swords, but I have to throw them only. I have actually done this challenge before, but the the video quality and just general quality of everything that I did was a lot worse. So now that I have a much better upgraded system and whatnot, I thought it would be a good idea to run it back, to follow through with that challenge, even if I've already done it, because it would be pretty enjoyable. I've also, but by I've gotten more experience, I do mean I've gotten a little bit more experience than I had when I was last playing, so...
Press the start button on the scoreboard to play.
It's not working. Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring you guys back to my POV. We're gonna get this started. I gotta use my my watch menu for this, though. Yeah, it is that side. Alright. So yeah, because last time I did this,
Game on.
none of my stuff is as it is now. I thought it would be fun to run it back. It was originally an idea that I did have, but I never actually did do it because I didn't really know if I wanted to. But considering that other people are now wanting to see me do the throwing only, I swung into that guy. Have at thee. Yeah, that is the thing that makes this hard. Since the last time that I played this, or did the throwing only challenge, I have consistently been doing throwing in just, like, public lobbies that I go into, my own private lobbies. I just mess around, throw a couple swords at some enemies, just for some fun. Okay, it's doing it again. Just for some fun. But at this point, I've gotten really used to comboing throws into slashes and stuff like that, and that right there was not me slashing into the enemy, because, like, I was doing a combo. Instead, like, I just whipped it back to go for another throw, and I hit the enemy with the return. But because this thing does so much damage, I can't stand for that. Hey, you die. But yeah, I have done a lot more throwing, so I've gotten more consistent with throwing in general. And it's a really fun just way of using the swords. Oh, what the? And it's also more efficient, because you kill things with the damage that a sword deals. Whoa. From, like, mid-ranges, and sometimes even long if you, like, throw them down choke points like this. You can even, you know, throw them really far. Whoa! This is why I have two. I've also kind of based the look that I currently have off of, you know, throwing. I have my throwing hand, the one that doesn't have the, you know, night glove on it. And I also just thought that the brown cape looked better. Wanted to cosplay as a knight that's just throwing swords. Ooh, double hit there. Nice. Love to see it. More efficient kills. You know what? I want to use this one. I'm feeling... Oh, hey. I'm feeling lucky. So yeah, I'm only allowed to swing at the pots because they're not enemies. If it is an enemy, I have to throw... Oh, man. If it's an enemy, I have to throw the sword into them to kill them. You got stuck on the thing, didn't you? Yep. Oh. Okay, well I missed both times. What's really cool about the sword is the fact that it has some, you know, interesting properties to it. If you throw the sword, for a brief moment after throwing it, you can pick it back up and do what I've been doing in the run. This I like to call boomerang throws, where you specifically return it back to you by, you know, picking it up after a short distance. Because once it goes far enough, and once it's been thrown for long enough, you won't be able to pick it back up anymore. But it also means that if you do stuff like this, you can throw it really far and still return it to yourself, but it has a much, much shorter window on it. Hey. Dude, you guys are supposed to be dying. Nice. Also, once I get to the boss, I will be, I'm forcing myself to do the boss, quote-unquote, normally, in the sense that I have to attack the boss while only throwing, but I have to go phase by phase. So once I get him into a new phase, I have to first kill all the enemies that are, you know, tied to that wave. That literally bounced off of you. But I have to kill all the enemies for that wave first, before I can get into his next phase, and so on and so forth. It bounced off the dude that I was trying to hit, and hit the other guy. Neat. Wait a second, I haven't spawned those guys. I'm so used to doing the combo for him that I just instinctually did the combo. Killing them with throwing is... it keeps them stun locked the entire time, every time you throw. But what I've found is it's much easier to throw than slice, than throw, than slice, than throw, than slice. And so I accidentally just did it there. Am I gonna reset? Absolutely. But only after a little bit of fun. There we go. Damn it, I really need to... I really need to stop doing... you know... the combos that I normally do, because I'm not allowed. I can't let myself do that. I'm not allowed to slash, hit enemies with it still being in my hand. It has to be thrown first. That means that if I hit them with a very close range, it's still doing it. If I hit them with a very close range throw still works. But, you know, more ideally, we don't let it be up to interpretation. So we do further away, you know, further away attacks. Oh yeah, throwing only also entails that I can use the pots in a level as well, but I'm just gonna just use swords. Ooh, double hit. Oh, there's my sword. Another double hit. Though the second hit is never as strong as the first hit. Well, actually, it is stronger than the first hit. Well, not it is stronger, but it's just as strong as the first hit sometimes, so you can actually take out 2 of those guys at once. Hey. Hey! Stop that. The hell away from me. There we go. Yeet! So cool. Nah, it's just fun. So far, I've lost both times to me accidentally swinging and hitting an enemy. What the? Just literally, like, caressed your cheek. Yo. I just did a combo again! Ah! I'm too used to playing the game, like, just whatever way that I feel like playing it at a moment. Damn it, I need to throw only. Point blank. Yo! Will I leave these fails in? Yeah, they're goofy. I also don't want to repeat everything that I've said, because I feel like some of it is, you know, stuff that I would like to, you know, talk about, but... I mean, throwing is just fun. If you're playing on VR and you haven't done any throwing, you should at least try it. You know, the game does lose players pretty regularly, so obviously there are going to be some people that don't want to do it because, you know, they don't want to play the game again, and that's perfectly fine. I am still gonna play the game every now and again. I don't tend to play it nearly as much as I used to. Hey. Whoa, wait. Thought. But, recently I have been getting a bit more into the game, and, that's why I have 1,200 wins at this point, is because I have been, playing the game for the past couple of months, regularly, but not as much as I used to play it. And I've been playing solely on this account. I haven't switched to any alts that I have, which is why my wins for gold far exceeded what I wanted them to be. I wanted to just get to 1,000 and then kind of leave golden trophy there. Just like, you know, 1,000 is a great milestone. Originally, the challenge request thing that I did was specifically because I wanted my 1,000th win to be, you know, a challenge that I complete. And I did do that. I actually did do the challenge, and I did complete it. As the 1000th win, but it actually entailed doing the quest and complete the I had the requirements necessary. So it was kind of like 2 wins in 1 challenge. But it was really just you carry the crossbow to the end. It was a single crossbow only. I had to carry the crossbow to the end of another run and bring it in to the next run. And then in that next run, hey, in that next run, I could only use that singular crossbow for the entire thing. And, like, it was exactly as I expected. I am, like, you know, I would say above average at using each of the weapons in this quest. So, you know, the challenge was actually really easy, it was just tedious. But that makes sense when you're using a weapon that is specifically designed to be slow, that way it would not be more efficient than the bow at killing things. Like, the bow is, like, for the more skilled players that want to use a weapon that rewards them for playing well. Whereas the crossbow is just a really beginner-friendly version of the bow, because you just point at an enemy and go pew, and they die, right? Not really, like, you know, amazing stuff. I'm gonna spawn these guys. Hell yeah. Oh, that totally missed. There we go. See, this level, I don't hate by any means. I just, specifically whenever I throw my sword at them, I more of just do it kind of haphazardly. I don't care whether or not I hit them or not. Because a lot of the time, I am expecting the sword to not even hit them anyways, because the game does just kind of do that sometimes, where it does just kind of, you know, even though it hits, it doesn't actually do anything, right? Nice, good double hit. Hey, what? You were supposed to die a throw ago. Whatever. Hooray, we made it past our previous choke. Gaming. I'm not going to be doing any skips, because I don't want to take away from the challenge at all, which is also why I'm making the boss, you know, I have to... defeat each phase like a normal, casual gamer would, because it would just be more enjoyable, to be fair. Though, if this works out, wait, hold on, let me do something. Okay, well, I'm not getting that sword back. Eh, you know what? How about this? I'll beat this with the Alright, considering I didn't actually wind up spawning them in. Screw it, I'm gonna skip those guys. The only enemies that I'm gonna skip, other than, you know, obviously the the optional enemies and the RNG enemies, because nothing is saying that I'm going to get the RNG enemies, because, you know, hence the name, they are RNG. It's possible I just don't get them. That needs to be, like, my anime, like, whatever you want to call it. Like, some things call it, like, you know, arts. The art of throwing 1,000 blades, sort of thing. Nice. The art of throwing 1,000 blades. If there was, like, a comically large bag of swords, and you could just keep pulling from your back more and more swords... Oh, my sword is gone. If you could just keep pulling more and more swords from your comically large bag, and just chucking them at the enemy, that'd be pretty goofy. I would love that. Just, you can't actually deal damage unless you throw the swords, so the kind of, like, way that you want to use them is just to, you know, only throw. You can't even pick them back up after you throw them, it's just throwing. Okay, I'm kind of cheesing the challenge here by doing that, so I'm gonna stop here. Whoa! Hey! Oh, okay. That's cool too. You know, I would love to hit the enemy a bit more than I have been. Woo! Uh-huh. Oh! What was it? You should have died a hit ago. Alright. Just do a quick little flick. None of the enemies spawned over here. This is actually, like, really bad. This is probably worst case scenario. Whoa! That's not my sword. Yo, can I have my sword back? Die. Oh, what? Like, you're not even close enough, bruh. Like, while, yeah, he probably would have hit me another, like, half a second later. That sword wasn't even touching me, man. Man. If only I'd picked up my sword when I was running past that flyer. Damn.
Ready to start.
It is actually kind of funny, like, okay, so the challenge is, like, how would you call it? It is, like, difficult to an extent, but it's, like, you're using one of the most powerful weapons in the quest. You're just using it a little bit more of an obscure way, where it's just kind of, you know, whatever. Ooh, that was a rebound. Kill. Neat. But yeah, you are just using the weapon a little bit more of an obscure way. I don't meet many people who do throw in public lobbies, because I do play a lot of public lobbies. If you were to play, you probably would find me within the next upcoming days after this. But, oh. You know, I'm just gonna go grab that. Give me a second, guys. Thanks. Anyways. I don't meet many people who do use the art of throwing, but out of the people that I have found, there are, like, 2 that were better than me, I would say. There's one who was doing, like, this thing where he would have the sword like this, and he would, like, chuck, and then re-pick it back up when he, did that. Just a bit of a neat... He was more of, like, he would flourish all of his kills. Like, he is one of those types of swordsmen where he would, like, do... like, these intricate ways of killing all of the enemies. And it's really cool to watch. I'm just not that type of person that puts that much effort into, doing just sword stuff, right? But he was a really good sword thrower and just a really good swordsman in general. I'm just more of, like, good at doing throws like that, where they're, like, more longer range, accurate throws. Which is what cements me as a bit of a better, like, swordsman, is just that I'm able to kind of, like, hit them consistently from further ranges than other people can. Okay, that was kind of cool. I didn't kill him, but I did hit the fireball as soon as he spawned it, so... But it's like... You don't really do... like, this level of throwing. You want to do combos where, you throw and then you do a slash. You don't want to constantly be throwing this, both because it's draining to the person, because it uses a lot of energy. Throwing, especially the way that I do. Oh, that was nowhere where I wanted that to go. That was just a little bit off. I mean, that hit you, but the hilt is not the damaging part of the weapon, so... it wouldn't have killed you. Wait, what the... Alright. Sword decided to nuh-uh. But yeah, the original throwing challenge that I did was just... It was basically me learning throwing the weapon. Like, it was just like, I found something that kind of worked, which was a bit like this. It was just kind of like, I threw it downwards like this. And while it is kind of inconsistent, I mean, as you could probably see there, it did work for the most part. And against those, bigger groups of goblins, I was able to take them down. Yo, you wanna, like, die? Just on your own? Oh, see, that's exactly what I mean. That's why I don't throw to actually hit them, because sometimes it will just hit them and then just not do anything like that, and then it's really annoying. Because it's like, okay, I give it a good throw, and it just slams on his face, but does nothing. Like, full on, it's moving at about that speed, just fully loses all of that speed because it hits him, but then it doesn't actually do anything. But yeah, earlier I was talking about how, with this being one of the best weapons in this quest, but just being a bit of a more obscure way of using it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people, if a lot of people do watch this video, where me saying that is going to be like, but the bow's the best weapon, not the sword. It's like, literally S and A tier are taken up by bow and sword, respectively. S tier is I'm using a tier list system where S is the highest because the game is, you know, S plus is the highest in the game, but S is the highest in Golden Trophy. But effectively, S rank is taken up by the bow and only the bow, and the sword is an A. But personally, I would put it in S, because when you do learn how to throw, it really does make your ability of using swords, you know, a lot more rewarding. You learn this obscure technique of using the weapon, but it actually pays off pretty well in the end. Plus, it's just fun. And, like, depending on, like, if I was using follow and I was doing, like, flip tricks into throws and still using the sword as I would normally do, it would look cool. Like that's pretty alright, right? Ooh, rebound hit. But bow just is generally better. It really takes me, like, no thought anymore to just hit with the bow. Like, I just have good accuracy, good precision. The only thing that I'm lacking is the rate of fire. I don't shoot as quickly as other people using it, which is what prevents me from, you know, really being strong with the bows. But because I can still double shot, and I can still aim pretty accurately and whatnot, it makes me good enough that I can use it and excel with it, right? Yo, damn! Oh, we got a dude that's flanking. Nice. Let me climb. Ah! Ah! Alright. Yo! Chill out, dudes. The reds are kind of scary. They're, like, literally the only one that makes this challenge kind of difficult. Because whenever they show up, they do just tend to put a little bit of a wrench in your plans. Okay. Cool. I did the smart thing. Cool. You seriously didn't spawn them this time as well. Damn. Back up! Damn! Whew. That was good. I had to stop talking. I had to lock in. I had to focus up on that one. Alright. Moving on to Act 7. One of the other levels that is, kinda problematic towards the end. Especially for newer players. Yo! Okay. Don't spawn those enemies in when I'm not expecting it, man. It's because the guy died. Without me even touching him. Voice crack. Ooh, a hit into a rebound hit. I don't have my sword anymore. It did not pick it up. I just kind of thought it did. Oh. Yeah, guess my sword did just decide to go again. Yo. There we go. How do I hit that one again? Dude, hold on. Don't I hit it from like this far away and I do that? Yeah. Hilt does work against pots, apparently. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed, like, oh, that's so embarrassing. I missed, like, an idiot twice. Yo, pick that up. Damn. Now, you might be wondering, like, with what I was talking about earlier, what... Dude, there it is. What my thoughts are of where the shield and crossbow would go if I were to put them also on the list. And honestly, I'd have to give it a little bit of thought, because... like, I am a little bit biased. I do like using the crossbows quite a bit, actually. Even if the bow is just generally better, I do like using the crossbow more than I do a lot of other things. And it's specifically because it allows me to use a sword as well, so I can either dual wield, you know, sword and crossbow, shoot that, slice that, or I could just dual-wield crossbows and then have a sword on my back just in case, right? So, like, I love the, like, loadouts you can create with it. I love the being able to combo, you know, shield, another crossbow, or a sword with it. Bow is, you know, just kind of out of the question. Of course. But just having the ability to kind of combo stuff with the addition of range, or just generally use, you know, another weapon alongside the sword, rather than just using the sword or just using the bow. You can kind of spice things up a little bit with the crossbow. But, like, the shield is actually, like, alright. It's, like, it's the newbie's best friend. Of, like, you'll be able to survive a lot more with the shield than without, of course, until you just get good at dodging everything, or, you know, if you use swords, if you know, get really good at throwing, you can just block the stuff with a throw. Like, you can block projectiles with a throw. Shield is just a really... Okay, I'm gonna wait for them to get out of that spot, actually. But, like, the shield is just very handy. At using if you're not confident with your ability to survive. Like, the only reason why I'm not using the shield in this challenge is both because I've been issued to only use the sword, but I've also just generally grown to not need the shield at all. But simply because it's a really good bit of utility that newer players can use, I would give it a C. Like, it's average. It's what you would want from the shield, is for it to improve your survivability. And if you're not comfortable with the game yet, it is a good thing to use. So, like, I would give that a C, and then I would give the crossbow a B. Because range and it being really easy to use, including newer players using it, it's also one of those things that's more of, like, I would see it as a utility rather than a full-fledged weapon. it's, you know, basically a bow that you can one-hand that has a cooldown. It's like a bow ability, really, right? Whereas, you know, the bow, you fire it as fast as you can physically move your arms, or whether or not you know how to double shot. Oh, my cat's yelling at my door. I can't let you in right now. I'm playing VR, and I don't really have an easy way of really seeing my door, but also, like, I don't want to hit you if you're in my room, and I, you know, swing very weirdly. I accidentally hit her. I don't want to do that. Alright, on to the finale. I thought I would need a little bit more time to kind of, you know, get into it before I would be able to get this far. Oh, he's looking away. Perfect. Ah, see those? Already the enemies are spawning in. Alright. Yay! Oh, what the? Okay, so I thought I hit the drop button. Apparently I did not. Alright, oh, you're looking this way, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this side. Now you're looking over this way, you! There we are. Perfect. 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 I'm not gonna run over there because that's a horrible idea. The boss is probably gonna shoot at me a couple times, and if I'm not ready to dodge the boss's, you know, fireballs, his balls of fire, it's gonna be kinda messy. Trying to deal with that. I still hear another flyer, but oh, yeah, they're there. You're dead. Nice. Ugh. No, you had your back to me. One more. One more wave of enemies. That's 2 cheeky hits on him. Basically, the first phase, you don't want to be here because enemies will spawn on your head. But the other phases, this area works perfectly fine. Oh, he is literally one hit, but I gotta kill that, the barrel first. Oh, barrel. There we go. Ooh, that's not good. There we go. Rip and tear until it is done. Whew. Absolutely gaming. Got one of those gold, those Midas touch hands, where every high five I do releases a bunch of gold and plays a sound.
Ready to start.
Whew, that was a good run. It's just pretty fun. But now that is over, see you next video.